According to a new Gallup poll, confidence in religion has hit an all-time low. 42% of Americans have, quote, either a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in church and organized religion. This is down 4 points from 2013, and it's down 11 points from 10 years ago. So this is a pretty big jump. Now, when you control for a religious sect, the lowest for Catholics was 39% in 2007. So there was a point in time where they actually had less confidence in their religion. Now, I believe that around the 2007 point was when there was a lot of scandals with sex abuse in the church. So that could have been something that had affected the confidence level in religion. I don't know if they controlled for that or not, but this is interesting. So the general trend since 1973 has been negative when you take the whole sample. Now, when it comes to the implications, Gallup writes, poor behavior on the part of some religious leaders has caused serious self-inflicted wounds for the church and organized religion, damaging its image among Protestants and Catholics as well as among non-Christians. Now, at the same time, the nation is becoming less Christian and less religious, and those outside of Christianity naturally view the church with less respect. Any progress that organized religion can make in restoring confidence among the faithful may help stabilize its numbers and perhaps soften other skepticism. So my problems with it is that even though the margin of error is less than 4%, the samples are actually pretty small. So they only had 309 Catholics and 796 Protestants. Now, it's probably the case that this is actually representative of the general population, given the 4% margin of error. But I'd still really like to see larger samples. I trust Gallup. I should say that 100%. I do trust Gallup, and I think that their polls are phenomenal. I like their methodology. However, I would prefer a larger sample, because mainly if you look at the overall trend, even though it is negative, it still really jumps quite a bit. So I think that maybe if we get larger sample sizes, maybe that would change. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I think this is really interesting, and it speaks to the fact that a lot of people are moving away from organized religion. Even if you are religious and you believe in God, you may not necessarily identify with a particular religion. I actually know quite a bit of people like that who they actually do have a belief in God, but they don't claim to be a Christian or they don't claim to be a Muslim. They do believe in God, and they'll state that they'll argue with you to the death, but they're not going to identify with their particular religion. Now, I think it's because of the internet. I mean, we're moving away from religion and becoming more secular because we're exposed to a lot more ideas, so we don't necessarily just have to accept some of the more draconian or morally bankrupt propositions from the Bible or the Quran or whatever your holy book may be. So this is something that I think is an interesting trend that's going to continue. I mean, millennials are the most, or actually the least religious generation ever. So we're going to see this trend continue, and it's going to get to the point where maybe in 50 years, religion is going to be on this last thread, at least in the US.